A man wakes up one morning and he has to go about his routine and everything, so he gets out of bed. But the first thing he gets out of bed, or first thing he does when he gets out of bed, is he stubs his toe. And feeling a shoot of pain come up his leg from his toe, he shouts and lets out a curse word and puts his fist in the wall. And then he has to go get ready for work, and he gets dressed and he's pouring his coffee. But as he's pouring his coffee, he gets some hot coffee right on his new shirt. So not only is he in pain again, but he also has to go change his new shirt. So he goes and he changes again, but then he realizes he's late to leave for work, and so he rushes out the door and he leaves for work, and he gets stuck in traffic. And then when he's in traffic, he's mumbling curse words under his breath the whole time and giving his steering wheel a few good smacks. And then he gets to work finally, and then all day it's just complaint after complaint after complaint from everybody. So when work ends, he gets home and he's tired and he's upset, and he gets home and his kids are being rowdy, and he snaps at them, and he snaps at his wife for not taking better care of the house while he was gone that day. And seeing that he's visibly upset, his wife asks him, "What's wrong?" And he says, "I've had a bad day." A second man gets up out of bed. Same routine. First thing he does when he gets up is he steps on his son's Lego on the floor. But instead of cursing and instead of planting his fist in the wall, what he does is he takes a deep breath and he just quietly stifles any sound so he doesn't wake his family. Then he goes and he gets ready for work, and as he's getting ready for work, when he's finally dressed and everything, he leaves, but then his son comes out and he's sick. And he needs medicine, so he very calmly and patiently takes his son to the kitchen, and he gives his son some medicine and puts him back to bed. And that takes several extra minutes to get him calmed down and to the point where he can leave and go to work. But as he's leaving, he realizes he's late to leave for work now. And he steps outside and he finds his car has a flat tire on it. So several extra minutes go by as he has to replace the tire, and then he gets stuck in traffic. But he's not cursing under his breath. He's just calmly breathing. He feels the agitation, but the agitation and the anger that he feels is not overwhelming him, because he knows that this is just for a moment. And he gets to work. And then he, all day long, receives complaint after complaint after complaint from his co-workers, from his customers, from his boss. And then he gets home and, feeling tired and worn out, he comes inside and his children are being rowdy, but he embraces them and he kisses their heads, and then he kisses his wife, and wordlessly he goes to his bedroom. After being in there for several minutes, his wife comes looking for him, and she finds him in there, and she says, what's the matter? And he says, she finds him knelt on the ground, face down, and he's praying. And he looks up to her and he says, "I have had a bad day." Which person are you? See, it's very easy to get roped up into the throes of the moment. It's very easy to get overwhelmed by agitation, especially when it's just one of those days where Occam's razor happens. Everything that can go wrong seems like it is, and it's so easy in those moments and in those days to get overwhelmed and to live that day out of our frustration. But God calls us to a higher purpose. Not to be carnal and not to be living out of what we feel or to be living in a reaction to our circumstances, but rather self-controlled. and leaning on Him. Control our emotions, our reactions to our emotions, control the things that we say, the things that we do, the way that we treat people, because your circumstances aren't in control of you unless you let them be. People around you cannot make you curse and throw your fist to the wall and snap at your family. They can't. God calls us to pray in all circumstances, to be self-controlled, and to trust Him. So the next time you have a bad day, the next time I have a bad day, what do we need to do except to breathe? Remember to breathe, stifle those angry, sinful reactions that we naturally are inclined to, and instead pray. When all is said and done for the day, go and be alone with God. Cultivate holiness. Be blessed.